Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you Sunday, June 13th. The year is 2021. Let's talk trading. It's time for a weekly open and gap. And just so you know, this video is for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And I just want to make sure we start the week off right. We look at the risk management screen. Remember, do not lose any more than you're willing to lose on any one particular trade. So, weekly. Okay, I'm coming to you a little bit later than usual, and you can see all but one gap has filled. It's a big gap down here on the pound. I think we had about, 20 some pip gap to the bottom here. We opened at call it 95, and we had a Friday close of 41.15. So that's about 20 pips. Hopefully somebody took advantage of that. And you can see here we're still below the pivot. We're putting in the opening range here for the week. You can see we're outside of the opening range for the month. 470 pips above the yearly open. Right now we're 17 above the weekly daily open, but 93 pips below the monthly open. So we got a red month here. Inside bar 4 days ago, we're below that. And we've got some inside bar action happening right now, but not too much. Only a handful here, looks like, on the daily. And the range, even for a Sunday, when we're 7 hours into the day, and I don't even see a range over 50. This is really a muted session. You can see the pivot point here. We're 20 pips away. So might want to play that pivot. I might even do that as an overnight trade. That'd be good for what? 20 pips from this level. Range too low for the rat. We're only looking at 23, 24 pip range. Way too low for the rat at the moment. And there's that weekly pivot, 141.259. Daily pivot, 131. So yeah, so target those two pivot areas. That even makes it more so that I think I might put a trade on. I'll just place my bet. We've talked about that before. So in other words, put a target on, maybe say if it makes a new low here on the day, that would be the stop. It might be about a what? Maybe a 1-for-1 type trade. Once again, missed the daily pivots so far today. Haven't hit the weekly pivot yet either. Came close, but not quite. And the monthly we've already taken out. We're still in the lower wick zone from the previous day. And we're starting to look at the ranges. We're just starting out. But last week, muted range. So look for something maybe big to happen this week. Not really sure. See, after we had a 2%er, just these weeks are just muted. And we can switch over. No, we don't really need to switch over there. I'm looking to see if there's anything else interesting. I don't really see anything interesting on that chart. Looking at simple wall mall lines. Oh, if you're wondering, I have put those dots on there. I'm not even sure. Let's see. Those are the price action high-low. I didn't even put, I'm going to have to go back and work on that indicator and put a turnoff on there. So we can turn that off. And that's just basing, does the price action tell you to go long or short? Based on the high and low of the current and previous candles. That's how that works. And then looking at the higher low, lower high, you can see here we've got the daily set up. We can just, actually we can just go through and look at the weekly. You can see here, if we break this level here, it's 140.90. Could be a huge drop. On the daily, you can see every time it closed above 41.63, there was a short to be had. And if we move down to H4, you can see the oscillation here, up, down. You can just see how that's working. So we've got the 311 pattern here. We just have to see what happens next. And then on H1, you can see we had this huge return bar, and then price did return to it. So, but you don't see any big return bars here. So we'll just have to once again wait and see what happens. M30 pretty much the same. M15, you can see how just playing the higher low, lower high. It's not a hindsight. This is something you can do in real time and just, take those trades. And you can put a really tight stop on it because here you see there's only about 2 pips difference, 2.2 to be exact. So you could take this trade, put maybe a 3 pip stop loss because that means it'd be making a higher high. And you can pretty much do the same thing here on H1. So it put in that 3 ball, came down, came back up. You took that second break, you'd have maybe a 5 pip stop. Let's see. High was 84. Okay, call a 7 pip stop. Still under 10. So it's a nice little trade there. Does it work every time? Of course not, but the risk reward makes it worth the gamble, right? M5. The same thing is being shown. You could take that trade and you see what happened next. You take the lower high trade, and right now you'd be up 2.3 pips. You can either take your pips off the table, and let's see, the low was 0.57. So once again, maybe a 3-4 pip stop loss here. It just makes it easy when you pick things that aren't complex, as somebody liked when I said there was, no squiggly lines were harmed in the making of these videos. Because this isn't complex. This is just simple horizontal line trading. Somebody asked me about horizontal lines, and, you go to Kreslik.com. I'm sure you can find my document. Let's see. All you need to know about trading, or all you need to trade is a horizontal line. I made videos on those topics, and it's a lot of repetition. I mean, I guess a lot of people they'll watch my videos for a time, and then they'll go off elsewhere because he's just repeating himself. Well, that's what good trading is. It's repetition. Hopefully what you do over and over again makes you money. So why wouldn't you just keep doing the same thing over and over? The methods, that's probably the easiest part. The hardest part's the brain management, controlling your emotions. In fact, I read something that was pretty interesting. I don't know if I mentioned it the other day, but they said that, some people think that when they do dumb stuff, airball trading or whatever, that it's a lack of discipline. And this one guy says, no, it's actually a lack of emotional control. So you let your emotions get the better of you. You exit early, you exit late, you enter when you shouldn't, you're impatient. Those are all emotional reactions, not discipline. So, I read that. It's like, that's there's a lot to it. And one of the way to take emotions out of the trading is, like those market structure guys. You define your entry, you put your stop loss, and then maybe you define your target. And then you can walk away or just sit on your hands if you want to watch it. But you make the trade, and then you just let the market do what the market does. You're not scalping. You're not, living and dying tick by tick. You can take a more hands-off approach. And once again, when you set your stop loss, that's like when you put the money down on the roulette wheel or the crap table or blackjack table. You place your bet. That's how much you're willing to lose, because there's a chance you could lose. So when you place a bet, you're saying you're willing to lose it. So that's the same thing. When you put that stop loss on, you're saying you're willing to lose that amount of money. You don't have to lose it all. You can exit early. But that's what you're saying when you place a stop loss. And a lot of people have a hard time doing that. But the reason they have a hard time is because they don't have the emotions under control. So hopefully that'll give you guys something to think about. And you girls and you non-binary traders. I have to be careful. Make sure I include everybody, because this world is all about diversity and inclusion nowadays. So let me think. Oh yeah, there was a couple people having some problems with some of the multi-pair indicators and the dashboards. Now here on the dashboard, there is I say my addition, and sometimes I say suffix or my addition. And so, like, if you have, I know there's one trader that has a broker that has .z. So you put the letter Z in here, not the dot, just the Z. And then I think somebody else had a Y or a K. So you just type those in my addition. And then the indicator should work fine for those pairs that have, those brokers that have it. And I know there was one out there, drove me nuts, had PRO. And because some of the brokers do that. Why? I have no clue why they have to do that. But they do. So look for either my suffix or my addition in the dashboard indicators, so it'll make it work right. So that's it for the weekly open and gap. I hope you had a fun and safe weekend, and hopefully you'll have a profitable week trading. And when you sit down to your trading platform, always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. And if you're new here, please click subscribe, click like, and click the bell to get notified. I guess I need to get more likes on my videos. Oh, and that reminds me, I have to thank the person on Reddit who gave me enough good karma points that I now have a thread. I've opened a Reddit subreddit over there. So I believe I called it Never Lose Again. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So, fellow traders, this is TheRumpledOne, over and out.